Hey everyone, how's it going? I'm the Atom Particle, and welcome to today's book review. Today we'll be reviewing The Rage of Dragons, written by Evan Winters, and it is the first part in the Burning trilogy. I know in my past reviews I mentioned I would be doing a Greenbone Saga retrospective, but I just kind of want to give that just a minute to breathe and explore some other books before I do that, so you can expect that in 1 to 2 weeks. So, like my previous reviews, this will be completely spoiler free. I'll just be talking about the book in very broad strokes, and then I will also just kind of be giving my general impressions on the book. Right away, I just want to say this book grabs a hold of you and does not let go. You are going 100 miles a minute and is just nonstop. This story is pretty much an anime training arc, and I love it. So this setting is very influenced by a lot of African and European influences, which is very unique and you don't see too often, at least for the African setting. But Winters demonstrates that it just has so much potential. The European influences come from this caste system that's in place, and you can see a lot of the ruling class, a small minority, ruling over the greater majority of people. In this world, there is also a belief that the royalty are genetically superior, and that's why they're higher up on the social ladder. So we follow the main character Tao as he trains to become the best warrior to get revenge against a wrong that was committed against him and his family. He's near the bottom of this caste system, but is it caste or chaste? I'm going to keep saying caste. He is near the bottom of this caste system, which is what motivates him to really train and become the best fighter he can be, so he can actually stand a chance against the people in higher positions than him. Right away, we can just see that he is fiercely determined and will go at extreme lengths to seek justice as and enact it as he sees fit. You can also see that he harbors a lot of hate and resentment against the system and just for people who act against him. This causes him to be very single minded in his goals, and sometimes he overlooks some basic things in his pursuit for revenge, or he just simply doesn't care for it. Most of the time in these power creep or training arcs, the protagonist is usually doing it to protect someone or trying to get something back, but not Tao. While his motivations do evolve to fit a bigger picture, they are very much just selfish, and he is doing it just for himself. He is led by just pure revenge and selfishness, which is a unique perspective to take. This leads to some frustrating moments, especially since his actions do really have consequences and affect those around him. But it does make sense for the type of character Tao is. I will say this book does take a little while to get into. I know at the start I said it grabs a hold of you and does not let go, but this isn't until after the initial incident. I remember feeling a little bit lukewarm when I was just starting the novel, and I was just kind of taking my time through it, but as soon as it hits a certain point in the story, it just goes. I just could not put it down from that point forward. It is just non-stop action as he trains and keeps pushing himself to get stronger and stronger. Despite some of his flaws and what he's putting himself through, part of my I don't know if it's like a sick part of my gym bro competitive brain, but I'm just like, yes, more, be the best. I I know it's probably not the best coping mechanism and more than a bit self-destructive, but yeah, I don't know how to explain it. I think that's just something wrong with me. But like I said at the start, this setting has a lot of African influences. I imagine it almost like a sun-baked savanna and just so hot, and the sun is just unrelenting the entire time. It also creates some interesting details in the world that kind of go overlooked in a lot of other fantasy settings. An example of this is wood being very rare and water also being a luxury. But yeah, it's just a very cool and unique setting that you don't see a lot of. I know that's kind of changing a lot now, which is cool to see, but um, I don't know where I was going with that. It's just a great setting. It has a lot of character to it. The setting has a lot of potential in it, and you kind of get the sense that there's a lot of dark secrets, whether it be in the culture, the world, or even the history of the world. There is also this almost like shadow realm that people are able to access, which grants them magic abilities. The problem with this is that there's these demons that wait in wait in this shadow realm. So when you draw power from it, they're kind of waiting to pounce, and they will attack and kill you in the most just gruesome ways. This again opens the doors to a lot of possibilities and just kind of creates a lot of unique story beats. For some critiques, like I said, the start is a little bit slower, but once it grabs you, it does not let go. So you can expect just a few slower first couple chapters before you really get into the story. Another critique is that the rest of the characters don't feel too fleshed out. They do get a bit more fleshed out and get a little bit more characterization in the following book, but there is still a lot to be desired for the other people in Tao's life. To be fair, I think this could be interpreted as Tao just kind of holding everyone at arm's length and not really letting people get too close to him. Also, that he's just so focused on his mission and just nothing else matters to him. I highly recommend this book, especially if you're into anime training arcs or the Creed Rocky movies or anything like that. I guarantee you'll have a great time with this book. And you will be so motivated by the end. Like, I swear, I had my best workouts while reading this. Anyways, I think I'll give this a A. I think I'll give it an high A on the tier list. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching, and please consider subscribing to the channel. That would help me out a lot, and I would appreciate that. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. Thanks.